We're live, guys. Podcast
Hey,
episode 28 of GuardianCast, and we
really?
have a guest for the first time in like 10 weeks. So,
Whoa.
hype to
So,
that. Uh,
hello.
we are sitting here with the Rogue Shadow, regular listener and watcher of GuardianCast. How's it going?
Ooh.
It's going pretty good.
Good,
Just got
good.
my Warlock Solstice armor, finishing the set. Oh, I forgot to pick up the ship. I can do that now.
Awesome.
Because
So
we have computers here at GuardianCast.
We have
It's really
That's
important
true.
to.
on the
Remember.
podcast.
PC exclusives, guys.
Yep.
So Rogue Shadow, tell us a little bit about yourself. Are you a gamer, content creator, or what?
I'm a layman.
Okay, cool, cool.
Mhm.
Just play the video games.
And you're obviously a fan of Destiny. Are you into any other games right now?
I've been playing a bunch of smaller games on my free time.
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing a co-op playthrough of I always call it Harvest Moon, Stardew Valley with my girlfriend.
Oh, sweet.
That's been consuming my life. I've been playing through Hollow Knight, going through Doom
Yes,
again.
Hollow Knight.
That Stardew Valley is kind of like Harvest Moon, right?
Yeah, that's why I always mistake it for that.
Yeah.
And how'd you get into Destiny, and how long have you been playing?
Oh boy. Okay. So I got on the hype train. I got on the hype train real early, 2013. Like it was full stop, no breaks as soon as the game was announced.
Perfect.
I was so excited for this game that I convinced a friend of a friend of a friend to allow me to borrow his PS4 so I could play the alpha using a code from a friend of mine who went to PAX.
Wow.
And we stuffed 7 people in one room, switching off controllers playing the alpha because all of us were Xbox players.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I didn't get to play the alpha because Xbox. It was only on PlayStation. I did play
Yeah.
the beta though.
Yeah, same here. Oh man.
But that's pretty cool though. So did you end up playing on PlayStation for the rest of the time, or did you play on Xbox?
I bought
after
an
that?
Xbox already before that
Okay.
because as soon as Destiny was announced, is when I decided to pick up a next gen console,
Mm-hmm.
and I went with Xbox because I was still a big fan of Halo, despite how shaky 4 was, and also because we were gonna do a GTA transfer from our 360 characters.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to lose all that.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is Destiny is the reason why you own a next gen console.
Yeah, it's one of
Or
4
current
games
gen
I
now.
have on it. Yeah.
And then did you switch to PC right away when this version came out?
I didn't pick up D2 at launch
Okay.
because I rented it on Xbox because if I was gonna play
Renting
D2,
games, that's still a thing, huh?
How did you rent it?
Blockbuster,
Redbox.
man.
Redbox.
Blockbuster. Wait, Redbox rents
Wait.
games?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I knew
Redbox.
they did that, but I didn't know that. I mean, I guess it makes sense, actually.
It was like $3 a day. I think I had it for
It's a
5
lot of
days.
money a day, but
Yeah.
That's
But if,
interesting.
I told myself if I was gonna play it, I was gonna play it on PC. But I
Mhm.
wanted to see what the experience was like, what the rate was
That's-
like.
cool.
So you just played it for 5 days just to like get a taste, and then you like waited out for the PC version?
Oh, I didn't entirely enjoy what I had when I
Yeah.
rented it.
Yeah.
So I waited out and I picked it up when Warmind came around.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you took you
was a late
That's
bloomer.
quite a break.
That was very smart. You probably have honestly had a way better Destiny 2 experience than most of us
Yeah.
as a whole.
we stuck it out during the darkest of days for Destiny.
Season 1, man.
The dark ages of
Yeah.
of Destiny 2.
There was
I ain't
there was
never getting that ramen emote though.
well, speaking of ramen emotes, there was like a weird quest that showed up in the tower this week, guys. Everyone was like, "Oh my God, there's a spicy ramen quest!" You know.
Please never
Yeah.
do that voice again.
There were people trying to figure it out on Reddit. They were like deciphering the mystery. They were looking and they were like, "Oh, 6 has to do with the number of days that this quest is," and
Yeah.
how do I get something like that? I know it has to do with.
I gotta log back
with
into Destiny 1 and find the 7th chest in the Vault of Glass. And
Cade's treasure. Well, we already talked about it. We already found that chest, but not in Destiny 1.
Yeah.
But no, they were looking on Reddit. They were trying to figure out they bought the treasure chest because they thought that they had something to do with that. I did too, because I was like, I mean, I'll check it out and see. There was an extra item that I hadn't seen before, but basically you just sold it to him. It was like one of the glimmer items that you get for the treasure chest, and then you just sell them in for glimmer, which is kind of
like
silly.
your rabbit's foot or the journal.
But,
yeah, he drops like a couple of items in those cage chests, and then you go back to him to turn them in, and then they just end up being glimmer.
So basically, though, people were starting to assume, oh, it must be time gated because no one can find the next step, and then what was it, Damage or Cosmo?
Yeah, Damage on SmackDown.
Yeah, Damage went on Twitter and said that basically there's nothing to it. It was just like a fun piece of lore, and you won't be getting any more steps to the quest. So
It was still weird that it had its own quest marker.
yeah,
though.
I know.
Yeah, it had a quest marker, and it was in the director.
Yeah.
Like, you don't put a troll. It's not even a troll. Listen, if it was a joke,
Yeah.
then it would have been, like, way better to put in the director. But they put just, like, a fucking useless white item in our inventory.
Yeah.
Hey man, that thing's got a beefy lore tab.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
about
does.
gyoza. Like, I don't know if that's lore.
So one other thing that happened this week, and that RogueShadow was just playing, is earlier in the week, up until yesterday, they had Scorched Rumble, and then today it switched to 6v6 Scorch Cannons. Did you guys try the game mode at all?
I'm not really interested.
Okay.
I think it's great that it's there.
Okay, EXO, did you try it?
No.
Okay, I did try it. I played it yesterday. I figured, since it was actually something unique and not just like, hey, we made control round based, like so it was actually a different game mode in Crucible Labs, so I figured it's worth a shot. But there's some like weird quirks, I think, about this this game mode. Number one, it's manually respawns. So it'll count down, and then I'm just like staring at this counter that says 0, and I'm like, is it broken? Why am I not coming back in? You have to hit E to make yourself come back in, which is kind of weird.
Strange.
And then the
That's
other
nice.
thing is, basically you have to jump the entire game. It's just non-stop jumping because you're just trying to stay out of the air and not get hit.
Yeah, some of the quirks
Stay
of the
in the
game
air?
mode.
What?
You said stay out of the air.
No, you have to stay
You
in the air because
stay in the air.
if you land, then it's easier for them to just hit like the ground near you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But something I just learned, which I didn't realize, like a bunch of people were hitting me like directly in the air, and I was like, man, that's a nice Scorch Cannon shot. Like people have been practicing this, I guess. But RogueShadow was telling me that it works similar to Fighting Lion, that whole hold the button down mechanic, if you release it in the air, it'll just detonate. So I didn't realize that. So I kind of want to try it again and see how that works. But
Yeah, it's got a dead man's trigger.
so that's kind of interesting. I knew you could hold the button down. I thought you had to wait until like after it's stuck to something though to
Yeah,
detonate
same here.
it. But
Yeah.
I didn't
I'm
know
glad
that
that they're
Fighting
doing.
Lion.
I'm glad they're experimenting.
yeah,
First
it's
time
definitely
I've ever
different.
heard that.
I only played one game because I didn't really like it too much, but I'll probably give 6v6 a try and try detonating things in the air. But I'm not a fan of that manual respawn thing though. That was kind of strange. I don't know if it's intentional or something that happened by accident, but it's possible it's intentional just because they didn't want you to respawn into getting blown up by a Scorch Cannon, but I don't know.
Yeah, so they're making you
Right.
consent
Yeah.
to getting respawned.
Yeah.
to respawning into a
I don't know
Scorch
how like you can like thoughtfully respawn. Like, well, this is the time. You know, I don't. I don't think that
I
really
would
works.
love to be able to control it for like competitive. Like, oh my gosh, if I did not get forced respawn in competitive, it would be so much easier to manage rotation.
Mm-hmm.
I remember
could-
like doing that in Destiny 1, playing skirmish, you know, and like
Yeah.
holding respawn until you could like regroup as a team, and like not being able to do that in Destiny 2 has been kind of inconvenient.
Yeah,
So
'cause
like
they do,
a competitive mode with that would be good then.
Oh yeah, 100%. Or at least, you know, like giving us like a skirmish style, like you have a 10-second window to press it, and if you don't press it in the 10-second window, then it forces you in. You know,
Yeah.
you're able to like wait out
Gotcha.
supers and like control spawns based on like using your respawn timer. It was great. I missed that.
So we got a little bit of a reveal at Gamescom. They
Yeah, a
did
little
like
bit.
an announcement. Here's something that's kind of weird though. Like, what? What?
You didn't even say what the announcement was.
Well,
yet.
I'm getting to that, but like this is how it happened in real time. So like sitting there on my phone and like there's all these tweets coming out from Bungie. They're like, "Don't watch this if you don't want spoilers. Spoilers are serious, guys. You don't if you want to go in blind, then stay out of this." And I feel like that messaging was supposed to be going to like people who've been living under a rock or something like that, because literally nothing happened in that trailer that we didn't already know. It's like they were trying to communicate with people who don't know Cade's gonna die. You know what I mean? Like,
Wait, what?
yeah. Oh my god.
Well, they
Yeah.
did say they said back when Aldrin was the person who killed him, you know, at E3, that wouldn't be the way that he died, and I guess we saw the way that he officially dies now.
Not really though. We
We
saw
didn't
like
see his death.
Don't
We
really
just saw him
know,
get
right?
slung through a wall.
It's just
So-
another teaser for his
this
death.
this
Yeah.
this Cade's Last Stand trailer that they showed us was a live action trailer, so it's still not the cinematic. We haven't seen the
No.
cinematic.
I know this was the cinematic in the game. I'm almost certain of it. 'Cause
Yeah, it'll
this,
be
This is one of the cinematics, but there's gonna be more to it
Yeah,
where we actually watch him get his brains blown out or something.
question. Was it 30 frames per second?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm upset.
Um.
Yeah, hopefully it's not like. Listen, I just hope that we get like an action shot, right? Because if we
Yeah.
get another like speaker style death where like there's still like 27 people in Reddit posting every day like he might be still alive.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I
So
want to see his fucking face blow up.
there's a short clip in the pre-order trailer for like his exotic stash where it shows parts of the rest of that cinematic.
Oh
Where it has
really?
Aldrin picking up his gun and it has
Hmm.
you going up to Cade with your ghost trying to heal him.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. That's
Um,
that's in the what? That's in the pre-order?
It's in the pre-order trailer for his like exotic stash. Let me see if I can pull up a clip.
I still got a pre-order for Zaken.
Oh wow. Yeah.
That's something I should do. Can you do that through the launcher?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a few things you can do through the launcher.
Can
Yeah.
you pre-order like the collector's edition through the launcher?
The digital
reckon.
deluxe, not the collectors. Collectors is the one that comes with like the weird like figurines and stuff.
Dude, I
like
kind of
that.
want the statue.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Wasn't
don't
statue
you?
like a
I don't want
100.
to spend like $200 or whatever it is. So no.
150, I think, or $100.
I don't want to, but also like, Kate
Here it is.
has been like a part of my life for a
Well,
long time.
Oh,
I've
it's
got
only
my-
$50.
I've got my
It's only
Cade right
$50,
here.
guys.
So how could it be?
I don't have a Cade yet. I have a bunch of Osiris.
How
I have.
how could it be
literally,
$50 when
I
like I
have
literally
4 of
paid
these.
$80 for the digital deluxe? I don't know what you mean.
It's just the statue.
Oh,
Oh,
the statue
oh,
standalone
you
is
could buy it
$50?
standalone. I see.
The standalone statue that'll show up in the game at some point, like him pointing his gun out, like he's like you know, like this,
Yeah.
and just like standing there out like that. So
I didn't
There's
know
also-
they were doing standalone. That's neat.
Yep.
Yeah, there's also a GameStop specific version that has a GameStop only emblem, which kind of makes me mad.
Well, that's the Think Geek one because GameStop owns Think Geek.
So a couple things about this trailer. So
Perfect segue.
yeah, number one, did you guys notice Nathan Fillion is voicing Cade now?
Yeah,
Nolan
I
North.
immediately noticed that it sounded different.
Nolan North.
Or
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Nolan
that's what
North.
I-
Yeah,
It is not.
he's not voicing Cade anymore.
Yep.
Nathan Fillion's
Yep.
not voicing Cade now. So that's a big feels bad, man.
He did
Yeah.
really good though. I feel
I mean, he
like
did a good job, yeah.
after seeing the teaser where it says his "I said" quote did not come off right to me, but everything else in that cinematic was a really good impression.
Yeah, I'm wondering why this happened, and now it's making me suspicious about their whole motivation for killing Cade.
This was
Oh, you're talking about how Nathan Fillion had other projects and he couldn't do the.
Yeah.
Fillion's got like 3
Yeah.
other major projects going on right now. He's
Yeah.
doing a new TV show. I think he's doing something else, and then he did
He's
a
still
short
doing
film.
Castle.
I'm
Did a short film
sure that it was very convenient, quote unquote, for them to kill him. I can almost guarantee they wouldn't.
It's
kill
not.
him
It
off.
wasn't planned that way because they were like, oh well, we don't have access to him anymore. Well, I got an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta believe
Yeah.
that if they wanted him to do a significant amount more in D2, they could have. They just gotta plan it out with his agent.
Right.
They just have
I
to
feel-
fork up the cash,
Yeah, or
That's
we
what it
could
comes
just
down
kill
to.
him off, guys.
or we could
It comes
just
down to
kill
them
him.
just saying, you
I
know,
don't think cash is an object when it comes to casting
With
Nathan
Bungie?
again.
Yeah, Bungie doesn't care about money.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm sure, like, oh,
Because
Somewhat.
if you ever take the time to just stop at like the farm or the tower and listen to the countless lines of these random voice actors just talking that you never hear,
Mm-hmm.
like if they had money to do that, I don't think money's much of an issue for them.
it's a bigger actor, but I mean,
Yeah.
I think a lot of it had to do with the time, and they were like, well,
Yeah.
you know, it's not really worth it if we're gonna go with the idea of killing him, then it's not really worth it. Because like if they had already decided they were gonna kill Cade, it might not have been worth it for them to even bother to ask him to come back.
yeah.
So tell me if I have this right, because I did not know the significance of this, but a lot of the community got buzzing about the whole "I'm coming home" Ace line. Apparently, Ace
Yep.
is his son's
Ace
name.
is his
Yes.
kid.
That
You got
he-
it
Ace
from
is his,
Yeah.
Ace is his son.
you got it from the lore cards from his journals, from I think it was the stashes.
Right.
And
Yeah,
That's
so
really
it was a little bit of the Cade stashes, but it was also some of the lore cards from like the Grimoire card,
Right.
like his Grimoire card connected to the Cade stashes. There was like backstory. Yeah, his son's name is Ace.
So
and
he
he
named his
shouldn't
gun after
remember.
his son.
yeah.
Well, that's
Like a
why
son
he
of a
named
gun?
the Ace of Spades the Ace of Spades because
Right.
Ace
But
is
yeah,
son of
the-
a gun.
Yeah.
the journals were of him before he became a guardian.
Yeah,
Right.
it was about his transformation to a
His
An exo.
transition
to
to
an exo, from a human
exo.
to an exo. But supposedly you're not supposed to remember your family members, but
Huh.
Or your past.
That's
Yeah.
he
that's
somehow
interesting.
did.
That is really cool.
Yeah, see, this is the problem with Destiny, in my opinion, is like they obviously put a lot of thought into using that line when he's about to die, and I feel like I'm not the only person who didn't see the significance
You're
in that
probably
at
not.
all.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well, the problem with Destiny in general, which luckily we're like moving in the right direction to fix this, like with all of the new like UI interface that's coming, like is that the lore and story and like details about these characters that we're interacting with are so difficult to access that
Yeah.
nobody knows anything about the game that they're playing other than like primary standard time to kill is 1.2 seconds.
Yeah.
Like
Well, I wish that like something like that the detail about his son would have been in one of the cutscenes instead of buried in a lore tab somewhere, because instead they decided to show me things in the cutscene like Anna Bray just being like, "There's a worm guard out there, Guardians,
Yeah.
and we need to take him out." You know, like I never even listened to the dialogue in Destiny because it's always just like, "Go kill bad guy." Smash!
That's I think that goes to an overarching issue, is that the surface level like dialogue and call to action is kind of so mundane that it doesn't entice you to go searching for that extra stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Havoc said the Ace might be completely a made up son by Cade, just so that he can feel like he hasn't lost his former self. He
humanity.
doesn't remember Ace, so he figures, well, he might exist. Well, they actually covered that because the like the letters that he was writing to Ace was written to Ace, and when he directly called him Ace in the letters that he wrote to him
Let me see if I have any of those lore
before his transformation into an Exo. Because he knew that he knew that he would completely forget them. I don't know how he came about Ace, or even remembered that he's coming home, because obviously that was about his son, right? I mean, once you see it and you watch it again, like now that you know that was about his son, you watch it again, you're like, oh, that was obviously about his son.
Yeah.
So he obviously knows, and you're not supposed to, as being an Exo. I don't know.
I reckon it might be another Anna thing where he found a piece of his past and he went looking for it again, which are obviously
Yeah,
his
it's
journals.
probably something like that, where he just went looking for it because he's like, oh, hey, I found this.
So the other thing that they announced during this announcement was that Gambit, a free trial, is going to be available on September 1st for 24 hours from reset to reset. So it starts at 10 a.m. Pacific, ends at 10 a.m. Pacific on September 2nd. I'm super stoked about this. It's going to be awesome. I have to work. This is incredibly short notice, so I might not get to experience like the full day of this, but I'm super happy everybody gets to play.
Are we gonna grind the crap out of it, boys?
I'm gonna experience about 5 or 6 hours of it, and then I'll have to leave.
Yeah.
I'm gonna experience about 16 naked.
Nice.
No cam day, Guardians. Fully naked for Gambit experience.
Yeah, they did the same thing with Rift back in Taken King, didn't they?
Yeah. It was I think that was available the whole week, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. The other thing, just in case anybody was wondering, not that it matters a whole lot, but they're not going to start tracking your infamy during this free trial. Just FYI.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's good. I'm glad, because you can't really like spring like, hey, here's advantage in Forsaken. You know, like you can't just say say that like the
That's
day
probably
before,
why they did it that way.
You know.
Get a head start on your Malfeasance.
Yeah.
And just a little bit of good news here, guys. I managed to snag myself a Gambit emblem. So I'm pretty stoked about that.
How, like, what's the story behind this Gambit emblem? Did you
Is it a coin?
buy it?
So actually, mutual friend of RogueShadow and mine, CC-kun, I had talked with him at GuardianCon, and he was VIP and got to play Gambit a couple times there, as well as at E3. So he had 2 codes, but he had lost one, and I guess he found it the other day and just gave me one of the codes. So I was
Nice.
pretty happy
That's
about
really
that.
sweet.
Yeah, it was really
What a nice
of him.
guy.
Yeah, because he could have sold that for like $100 easily, but
Yeah.
it was nice of him to give that to me. So I'm super
Quite the
appreciative of
donation.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you
Yeah, obviously.
Okay,
I'm so confused right now.
Yeah, But yeah, so I'm pretty happy about that. That's probably going to be one of the most unique emblems I've ever had, unless they decide to just randomly give it to everybody who participates in this free trial. But
Which I can't wait to see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a good time, Guardians. Here
Yeah.
you go. He played it. You played it before it launched. Here you go. Here's the
Yeah.
emblem.
Yeah, that. But except all the people who stood in line for like 7 hours might actually like fly to Bungie Studios and burn the place down. So I don't think that would be a good idea.
Be like just like one color would be different or something.
Yeah.
Ugh.
All right.
No, it's a code, right? It's not like
Yeah, it's a code. Yep.
Yeah, and it's a single use code.
So let's get into this TWAB because there's a lot to talk about.
The juiciest TWAB we've had thus far.
So, the raid #1. First,
We
actually,
got a date.
yeah,
Well,
first,
the time that the game goes live, right?
yeah, the time the game goes
Yeah.
live is 10 a.m. Pacific. So there's not going to be like a midnight release for this game. September
No.
4th, it's going to be on the weekly reset. So get ready for that. Guardian
I've
Cast.
been waiting.
1
Same
a.m.
stream.
Eastern.
Same.
Are you guys ready for my spreadsheet of grinding that we're going to
Yes,
do?
yes. Dude, that's actually awesome that you have it regimented like that. We'll talk about that in a bit.
What do you mean a spreadsheet?
Well, he has
Uh,
it probably like a fit for efficiency.
Yeah, so I develop a path of maximum efficiency so that we can get to the highest possible power level, the maximum power level that we can get within a set period of time.
That's awesome.
Okay, well,
But
yeah.
we
maybe
don't
you gotta do
understand
that.
the system yet though. So how
Yeah,
do
we
you?
don't-
Yeah, so that's what we're kind of waiting on. We're waiting on to see like how much of the things that we get per like in the 4-day period, how much can we get in the week period, and so within a day I'll probably have it all figured out.
Okay.
Like within like as soon as we know, like on the 28th we're gonna have an idea of where we get these powerful engrams, what are and aren't powerful upgrades. I know for a fact it's gonna involve a lot of strike farming, because and it's gonna be the highest difficulty one. So once we get to 500, I know for a fact we're gonna be grinding until we get to 600, like 100% of the time.
Okay.
So it might even be 600 by day one. So
Oof.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down to put in like 36 hours as soon as it goes.
I'm
live.
planning on 36. Yeah, because like 1 p.m. at midnight, I was like 24 hours and I was going to be bust. But now that it's at 1 p.m., I'm like, crap, now I got to put in 36 so I can
So
not mess up my
just a
sleep schedule.
reminder for our listeners, GuardianCast is doing an exclusive at the launch. We're going to be playing the campaign together and grinding out stuff. And we're going to be doing 24-hour streams. So
Yeah.
I
Oh,
don't
by the
know.
way, I
24
can't make it to that.
Yeah.
24
I have
24 hour
a
minimum, actually.
I have
right?
a
24 hour
taco
minimum.
making thing I have to do that day.
Unfortunately, I don't think if we're gonna do maximum efficiency, I don't know how much time we'll have for PvP, but
Yeah.
There's for sure we gotta like find an hour in there somewhere, because I will not deprave.
I'll tell you, the guns that we're gonna use, like I was thinking about it, like most of the guns we're gonna use right off the bat are gonna be better than what we have now,
Yeah.
but they're not gonna be great,
Okay.
and until we get to
Yeah.
like see where like the meta lands and all that stuff. So
Yeah,
it's
well,
gonna be.
I want to run in there pretty early on and define the meta. Be like, this is the meta. What's
Yeah,
in
what
my
if I-
hands, baby?
Yeah. All I'll say, Huffy, is that you should be ready to grind some PvE hardcore.
No,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
totally
definitely.
down for 23 hours. I'm down
23.
I will play 22 and a half hours of PvE. Don't worry. But if I do not get an hour and a half of PvP, I
It'll
will.
be an hour 22.
I'm probably
I
gonna
will.
start stream about an hour before launch. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
Well, I'll be
probably.
up. I'll have to actually sleep in a little bit to be able to do that, but I'll be up probably at 10 a.m. Because we have
That's
to download.
more than an hour.
It's 43 gigabytes of a download
Yeah, but we're getting
or
the
something like that.
yeah, but we're getting the download next week.
Most of it.
Yeah,
But there's still gonna
there's a
be-
day one patch, but it's not going to be 43 gigabytes. It's probably going
I
to
hope
be.
to God it's not 43 gigabytes.
No, dude, no. We're gonna get the vast majority of it next week, and the day one patch is just gonna be some tweaks to it that
The
they
switches
couldn't
to
ship.
turn everything on.
Yeah, I'm sure it. I can't imagine it be more than like a couple gigabytes at most. I really don't think
Well, even next
that.
week will be
Yeah.
really hard because like if we're downloading like 40 gigabytes next week.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter though, because people aren't going to be lining up to get in. Like you can download it at your own pace. You know,
Yeah.
like.
You have a whole week
It's
to
pretty
download
smart. Yeah, it's pretty smart. In my
It'll
opinion.
probably be a gigabyte or 3 gigabytes. or 5
Probably,
gigabytes.
yeah. It's just whatever they couldn't fit in before they had to actually ship the physical disc. That's usually what a day one patch is.
The physical disc is 43 gigabytes. So
Right.
We'll see.
So then, yeah, it's something on top of the 43 gigabytes then, if that's the case.
Yeah.
Because so we'll get 43 gigabytes next week, and then it'll be whatever they needed to add to that because they could. Hey, interesting tidbit. Like I know that this doesn't technically mean anything, but we can kind of make some assumptions. The Taken King was only 18 gigabytes, so that's an interesting progression of things.
I mean, it's also like as far as like
How big was Warmind? Do you
game
remember?
resources, like it definitely is like a much different. Like they're definitely beefier game resources. I don't know how much
It's
we
also
should
got
look into that.
+1.
Yeah, the size of the disc too might be also data that is required to play on the, because remember, if you're playing on the disc, you're playing from the disc, and you're playing the old Destiny from the disc too. So all that content has to either be installed or on the disc. So it might be, you know what I mean? It might be data that's on the disc that's redundant because we're on PC. So they might not need that 43 gigabytes as well.
You guys
It
are
might be
being
a
very
completely
negative right
different
now,
size.
and I don't appreciate it.
No, it might
No,
be a
no,
complete,
no, no,
like a
no.
much smaller size is what I'm saying, because the disc might be bigger because of the redundant data that it needs to have on the disc because it can't load it from the hard drive.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So
it could
redundant
also be
data
that-
that's on both discs. That the Destiny disc and the Forsaken disc will have redundant data because the other stuff will be on the hard drive.
I mean, I think it's gonna be nice and beefy, and I'm excited for all the stuff. But I don't know if it's gonna be twice the Taken King.
I think it's confirmed that we are going to have at least a year of content to complete based on the gigabyte size alone.
We can confirm here.
Yeah.
GuardianCast exclusive. 1 year of content confirmed.
Michael makes a good point, though. We have an advantage by being on PC because the Battle.net launcher doesn't have to go through the stupid authentication process that PlayStation and Xbox does.
Yeah.
So the download should be a lot quicker.
Well, 43 gigabytes equals 1 year.
Yeah, that's easy. Everyone knows that.
Blizzard still
It's math.
throttles downloads though.
Yeah,
How do you
well,
not know
yeah.
that? That's basic math.
Yeah, but it's not nearly as bad. The authentication is what always takes so long,
Yeah.
with queues and stuff.
Hopefully, with them being in my backyard, that it goes by pretty quick.
Blizzard?
That's 2 point.
Yeah, Blizzard.
Oh,
You got a
interesting.
blizzard in your backyard?
Well, they're like down the street.
2.8
Year round?
2.81 megabytes per day.
Oh my god. Hey, that's not bad.
So the other time announcement we got is the raid. It's going to be September 14th. So that is
And the
exactly.
name, we got the name, which leads further credence to the other thing we talked about last week.
Yep, Last Wish. It was right. So yeah, that's 10 days, guys, of grinding. That is the longest of any expansion. The only thing that was ever longer was the Vault of Glass came out like 2 weeks after.
It was 2 weeks. Yeah, it was 2 weeks.
after
It came out on a
launch.
Was
Tuesday.
I thought it was 1 week after.
No, it
And the
came
hard
out
mode came out 2 weeks after.
because I was nobody understood the system, and that like I remember being barely ready when it launched.
Yeah, so that's the only thing. Even Taken King, actually Taken King and Wrath of the Machine, they were like 3 days each. So this is
End was day of.
Yeah.
this is
Prison was a
significant.
strike.
Yeah.
Curse was that Friday though, but these are raid layers,
Yeah.
so that Friday. But we were almost not prepared for Spire of Stars when it launched because it was way too close to the deadline.
There's two ways to interpret this. One, you could say Bungie wants to give everybody time to have a chance at World's First, so they're just giving everyone more time. Or two, there is a lot grindier of a road to the raid. So,
Yep,
yeah.
that's it. That's it.
But I think that.
Sorry,
Go for it. No, go for it.
I'm scared that it's going to be the Warmind's progression, but without having the raids to do to level up.
Well, they've talked about how much and where they've slowed down progression is in the exotics. That's not giving us a level boost anymore. No matter whether or not we do them.
I thought they said the opposite.
They said
of
the
that.
opposite of that, Exo.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Exotics are the only thing that's going to give us a guaranteed upgrade, right? So like legendaries will have to be a powerful upgrade in order for it to be an upgrade.
Right.
Yeah. So with milestones resetting every 4 days now, I'm a little bit afraid.
Well, some reset.
Yeah,
every 4
milestones
days.
are going away, and instead it's like it's in a director now in which you have to find the things on the individual planets themselves. So we'll go to EDZ and we'll go, oh, we'll find this, and it might not be a powerful upgrade. It might be a powerful upgrade. It probably will be. Everything will be at first, probably. We have to find the soft caps. We have to find. We know what the hard cap is, but we have to find that soft cap. That's the most important thing.
Yeah. It's interesting. The thing I'm most excited about is not being confused about what power level my Guardian is because of mods.
The mods,
Right.
yeah.
They even said that they're going to be getting rid of the +5 on all of them. So if you have 405 right now, you're going to have 400.
Yeah.
Yep. So good job grinding out those masterworks on the solstice gear.
That's still you're gonna have like 400.
That's different though. Masterwork's a little bit different because
Yeah, you'll have masterwork gear with less perks than any item that you get in Forsaken.
No, but masterwork has nothing to do with the +5 though.
Well,
Yeah, I think
on the solstice armor it does.
They're separated.
Nope.
When you have
you can be
when you have
405
the mod,
before
the
you
mod
masterwork.
right, the mod can be
It's
a +5.
based on the
and you
mod.
masterwork.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about. Okay.
So that doesn't make any difference. It's all the masterwork does is give you damage resistance in your super. So
Which is important actually.
it was
you
super worth
you
it.
definitely notice it though between not dying and like I've
Yeah, for
played
sure.
matches without it and you die a lot faster.
yeah, but in PVE, do you notice it?
No.
It's 3% per armor piece.
Yeah, and you're not
Yeah,
gonna wear the solstice armor in PvP probably. So
Yeah.
Unless you're forced to.
right.
Oh man.
Blue armor upgrades. Oh, I've got to wear the whole set. Oh crap.
Yeah. There's no reason to be 400 in PvP. So
Well, if we're talking about mods, would it be a good time to bring up the mod? I don't know if you've written this down anywhere
I'm
else.
so sad
The year
about-
one.
them explaining the mod thing because they made it sound different.
Go ahead.
The year one mods can go into, or the year two mods can go into year one armor.
What?
Oh, can they?
No.
Just not
Oh.
weapons, you mean?
Yeah, just not weapons. The armor it can go.
Oh
into.
yeah,
Year
yeah,
two
they
mods,
did say that.
The year two mods
really?
can go into year one armor.
Yeah, but
But
the armor itself doesn't have as many perks, so
right, the extra
Yeah.
perk that you're gonna get is only on year two armor.
right.
Yeah.
Well, some of the perks that we've seen weren't too crazy, so it might not be that bad, which is something else to talk about. Because the perks that I've seen on armor was on the helmet for the reveal stream, where it basically gave you quick draw and snapshot for like a pulse rifle or a scout rifle, and it was
That's
just
insane.
Yeah, like for PvP, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
For
What?
PvP.
Oh yeah, they're not too special. You just get fucking quick draw on your pulse rifle.
Yeah.
Like no biggie.
It's similar to Destiny 1 where one of the perks affects abilities and the other one affects like a certain gun.
ammo.
Yeah, so it'll be like sniper rifle ammo and grenade throw distance and that kind of stuff, like back like Destiny 1 style. That's what they're going for, which is nice. It's a lot better than all the armor is the same, Guardian.
I thought the progression system would be a little bit different when they first explained it as well. Like we thought that it was like going to be like more like Destiny 1 where the more time you spent in the armor or the weapons or using the weapons that it would level up. But I think we kind of like had an idea of where we wanted it to be because of what we knew in Destiny 1 because we knew Destiny 2 system just didn't work. And I think they
What's this?
what's that?
What,
Sorry,
he said
no,
what system?
I said what system? Just like adding on, there was
Oh,
a system in
Yeah,
Destiny
taking a
before
yeah,
that.
chapter.
the way the system is now is like, you know, it's pretty flat as far as
Yeah.
depth is concerned, and we have I don't know, we have a lot more depth because of the variety in the drops. Like the drops are going to have random rolls, and also they're going to have random perks, and those perks, they can't be re-rolled, but the mods can be. And it's like you kind of have a mix of things that can be re-rolled and changed, and things that can't be.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's going to be god roll stuff, but I mean, I just hope it doesn't happen too much in the raid. Like I don't want the raid stuff to be that way.
So the
Yeah.
number one thing I'll say to people is if you're stressing about what you're going to be doing with your mods, you can delete them right now, literally.
Which sucks because they've made it sound like all of your mods were gonna get converted. You
Well,
know, like when the
they
patch
explained
happened.
that though. They said they had a plan for that and that it just didn't like come into fruition in time.
Yeah.
Where have I heard that before?
Yeah.
Well, didn't they say that they were going to get like they're deprecating them at some point, right?
No.
Yeah.
Well, all the ones that are already applied to
Are
armor
not.
Oh, okay,
pieces
yeah.
are being like just nullified, and
Yeah,
you'll
they're
be able
being
to
removed.
dismantle them from the armor.
Yeah.
So like that, and like still have a chance of getting mod components, but that means that like if you've been saving blue mods, like now you have to go through and like make them all purple yourself, and
Just delete them, man. You have a chance of getting mod components. I know it's less,
but
but
I
like
doubt it's 33%.
yeah, but you
it has
like
to be
are you
less
going to
than
go
33%.
earn are you going to go earn the other two or the other one like for every single
I mean, you
mod
still
that
have,
you have?
so you still have the
I mean-
ability to do that now.
Yeah, but like you're depending on RNG and you can't juggle enough mods in your inventory. I just think that I'm just
I
going to
have about
delete the
50
blue
mods
ones.
in my actual inventory that I
Yeah.
have. Like 50 mods. I'm sorry, 50 mods in my
So if
in
you
my
want to
vault.
do that, delete the purple ones first so that they're not taking up your inventory, and then have all the blues sitting there. You can dump your glimmer into it if you want, but what I would caution you is make sure you're able to re-earn all your glimmer before the expansion starts,
Yeah,
just
being
in
a
case you
cap
need it.
could be huge.
Yeah.
Like if there's like vendor gear for sale,
Yep.
you know, that was huge. Like from leveling up, like doing the Destiny campaign for the first time, like if you were able to like buy that gear, it was actually like really
Yeah.
big.
So just be
Right.
careful. If you want to do that, just make sure you're able to re-earn your glimmer in time.
Just make sure that at 1 p.m. PS or 10 a.m. PST, 1 p.m. Eastern, or PDT or EDT, that you have 100,000 glimmer
Yeah.
Yep.
in your inventory.
Yep. So yeah, mods they're all changing. The ones you currently have are gonna turn into these things called Paragon mods, just for consistency, so that you
Paragon
know.
mod is a type of mod
Yeah.
that we have right now. It's the class item ones, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but they're gonna look different. Like that you can see in the thumbnails here that it's quite obvious that they're different now. That you'll be able to just delete them just by looking at them. See, it says the mod has been depreciated, dismantled to clear space, reclaim useful components. So I'm just going to delete all mine ahead of time just so I don't have to worry about any of this crap day one. There's going to be enough nonsense that we have to deal with on day one. You know
I
what I
deleted
mean?
74 legendary mods
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Can we talk about these class changes really quick?
Yeah,
Do
let's get into the patch notes stuff and we're done with mods, right? EXO, you're good.
I don't think there's anything else other
Okay.
than the fact that they made the armor and the weapons sound really complicated again. By like year 2 armor mods only drop 1 armor when
A lot of that stuff seems self-explanatory though. I don't know why they like there's 27 bullet points and they're just like, yeah, year 2 is better than year 1. We're like, okay.
Well, I
gotcha.
the only thing that I said about that whole blurb is that it seemed like what they were trying to say is rare armors drop the mod the mod that's on it if it has a mod when you get it. It has nothing to do with like it has a small chance of dropping one only because you already have a mod that's on it already. Because they said that one like if you have a mod that's on a weapon, you can dismantle that weapon and get the mod that's on the weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the whole system. So obviously rare armor and rare weapons have a chance to probably have those mods on them as well, just like they do now.
Right.
It only makes sense. So like, why didn't they just say that?
I don't know. Ask who wrote this one.
Cosmo or Damage or something.
Ask
Ham,
Cosmo.
I'm going to be invading your gambit real quick, like Rick.
Well,
Hamrick.
yeah. So Hamrick, they've been calling him Ham Slamrick, or something like that in this 12. It's kind of weird.
This one's I'm going to be invading your gambit games real quick, real quick, like.
Yeah, I don't.
It's definitely
I mean,
esoteric.
Yeah, I don't get the joke. It's definitely internal, and I don't really care. Okay, so.
All right, so yeah, that's it about mods.
So these patch notes, they're calling it a sneak peek, not even a preview anymore, but it's definitely not all of the answers I was looking for. It's
I hope there's
pretty
more.
short.
Yeah, but like getting
Some of the
like
stuff we got
this
was really
much information, like this little tease, is good.
This is surprising, actually, to see. I wasn't expecting this much information.
Well,
Same.
after they
Personally.
announced, they said like there's gonna be patch notes tomorrow, and then this came out, and I'm like, yeah, where's all this stuff about the weapons though? Like, we don't know how much hand cannons are getting buffed. We don't
This
know.
isn't even all of the abilities. It's a
Right.
sneak.
Yeah.
Like I'm fine with the taste. Like I don't need it. I'll figure it out.
I mean, I
We
would
got
be
it.
fine with a taste if it was like a month out, but it's next week.
The issue.
Yeah, I
the
mean we'll
only
give
issue-
it patch notes day one.
Yeah.
The only issue that I have with the whole patch notes, the only issue that I have with the patch notes is that it's out of context of stuff that we already know to be true in the new game that they're not mentioning in the patch notes.
Yeah.
So like
Mhm.
you don't have the full context of everything. So you're like, well, is this going to be better or is it not going to be? I don't
Right.
know.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like the context of the information from what they've already told us isn't in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so class abilities first.
All right, so
Mhm.
we're coming in with Hunter's Marksman Dodge now being considered a reload and activating kill clip. This is
Yeah.
a huge buff to Hunters. Been
Yeah.
asking for this since the beginning. It's never made sense that it wasn't a thing. Now it's a thing. Thank goodness. Like I
Right.
think that's going to be huge in PvP. And
And
now the
PvE.
Wormhusk Crown is getting
PvE.
the debuff while staying strong that it needed, that we've all been asking for, where you get your health chunked up instead of restarting regen. So you'll no longer have someone roll in front of you and then automatically regen to full health. Like
I think like me and Exo were talking about this earlier, and
Mhm.
I'm not so sure that this is the nerf that everybody thinks it is. Honestly,
It's not I don't think it is the nerf.
like
No, I think-
if you read it carefully, like what you're talking about, I think especially if recovery gets buffed in like globally, which seems to be the case based on the
Yeah,
footage
it
we've
will be.
seen, then this could actually be better than
It'd
the
be a
current
buff.
Wormhusk in the new sandbox.
to me, as long as it is a bump
Hmm.
and not a full health bar, it adds predictability. And that's all I need.
Well, what
It's
it'll come down to
predictability.
is they say a larger health and shield bump. We need to figure out exactly what that means.
Yeah, I don't care if it's like, you
So,
know, 60 points, 70
No,
points, whatever
no,
it
if
is.
it gives you 80 points of health and it pushes you past in a half an overshield, that's a huge
It's not going to
bump.
give you an overshield.
Yeah, well, yeah, it doesn't say overshield.
It
It
would
just
never
says
do
that.
health
What I
and
reckon-
shield.
What I
What?
reckon it's going to do is probably give as much as a Phoenix Dive. Because
That
right now
would
it
be
gives you
good.
an
That would be
itty
fine.
bit amount and it starts regen. Like it gives you a tiny chunk, but it's itty bitty.
It's actually no. I mean, if you play at a high frame rate, it actually gives you a lot.
No, I'm
Yeah.
talking about Wormhusk.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
so
right now it doesn't start till the end of the dodge though.
yeah.
That's the thing about Phoenix Dive, though, is it only is good on PC. It gives you like
Yeah.
nothing on console, apparently.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
But either way, it'll be more predictable. And then, so like I'm on board with it. I'm very happy. I don't think that it's super OP, so I don't think it needed a huge nerf. I think it just needed a predictability change, and now it can be outplayed
I-
and like used in a better
personally, like I'm not willing to stake my claim one way or another. I have to see how this works in practice before I make a determination. If this does end up being a nerf, I'm gonna be disappointed that this got adjusted, but yet feedback fences and Synthos are allowed to stay where they're at. I think that that's a little weird, but if this is something that still has a lot of utility, and especially if it could be better in the new sandbox than it is right now, then it's fine, whatever.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's worse or better. I'm not saying that it's a
I am
nerf.
saying it is
And
definitely.
I'm not saying that it's a buff.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that it's a predictability change, which is like it's a different thing, but it's like very important for Crucible. Like
It's
the
a
last thing
strategic
you want
advantage.
is stuff in the Crucible that doesn't work the same every time. You know, stuff that's just like random. Like you don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know if like your bullets are gonna stop the regen or not. You don't know like if you're gonna get your health back or if you're not. You know,
Well,
like,
what
that
I
kind of stuff
found
is not cool.
the biggest problem with it was it being tied to your recovery stat, because
Yeah.
going against other low recovery hunters like myself, I found it very easy to interrupt. Like, if you're spraying them with an SMG and they roll in front of you, they're dead. It's just not going to work. If they were high recovery, though, sometimes they'd dodge roll and, like, pretty much instantly be at full health, like, not even in cover. So there was some weird stuff that would happen with that. But,
Yeah.
I don't know. Hopefully.
Now that won't happen.
Yeah,
It's not tied to your recuv.
right.
So if you want to use it with any build, there you go.
Yeah.
You know, and it won't be useful in the middle of lanes.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what, this will not be useful in the middle of lane.
Right.
Like a chunk, it's still going to animation lock you.
Yeah.
So like you're not going to be able to do damage during that time frame. Like this only works in cover. I think it's great. And then the Celestial Nighthawk gets the incredibly awesome 33% of your super energy back if a target is killed with Golden Gun. That's huge for PvE, dude.
Yeah, at
Holy
least
crap.
you'll like be incentivized to actually like use it on like yellow bars and stuff instead of just being
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna hold on to my super until the boss, you know?
I'm kind of hoping that since Nighthawk has combustion in D2, it's a 33% per target killed.
So
'Cause that would be
so if you
Oh, that
kill
would be awesome.
three
That'd
things,
be
Well,
silliness.
Celestial Nighthawk though is single shot.
yeah, but he's saying it
with
as combustion.
That makes the target explode if you kill him with golden
Yeah,
gun.
Oh, that might be. Yeah.
but
Yeah,
it-
that would be incredible.
I feel like they probably would have put per target if that was the case.
Maybe.
Who knows? Who knows?
It's hard to say.
They
So-
might not have predicted that to even be a thing that we do, but it might be a thing that we do.
Here's the other thing, Huffy, about the worm husk. If it is like a nerf and like this larger health and shield bump is not noticeable, the warlocks are getting increased healing rift effectiveness, which, I mean, I just think those two things are kind of like weird.
That's the thing. I
directions
think
to
that you're
go.
looking through it, like looking at it. I'm trying to say that it doesn't matter if it's a nerf or it's a buff. Like I'm not saying like, oh, they're nerfing hunters, but they're buffing warlocks and titans. Like I don't think it's a nerf. I don't think it's a buff. I think it's different. I think that like them
I hope
changing
so.
the way it's functioning is like just like a way for them to make it feel good and consistent. I don't think it's gonna make it feel terribly worse.
I
or
don't
terribly
have
better.
that much faith,
Well,
like, because
it's
I
not-
just
It's not just that it's not just that it felt inconsistent for someone trying to fire on a hunter. I can tell you from firsthand experience, it feels pretty inconsistent with the health regeneration for yourself
Yeah,
for the
using
way
it.
that it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. And like it doesn't, we don't have to wait and see. Like we can read right here.
Sometimes it saves me, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. From how it works, like how they are making it more consistent. Like start of the dodge, like that's what we needed.
Right.
You know, chunks, that's what we needed. Stable health value, that's what we needed. I don't think it's a nerf or a buff, is what I'm saying. Is why I don't think that this like conversation about, oh, they're nerfing hunters and they're buffing warlocks and titans. I don't think that's the issue here. I don't think that's what's happening.
I hope that's not what's happening. Like I said, I really can't tell until I get my hands on it because there's no numbers involved in this line. So
For sure.
so warlocks, they're getting increased healing rift effectiveness. The rationalization is that TTK is changing, so it should regenerate faster. I'm on board with that. That's fine.
Yeah.
The empowering rift is going to affect precision damage, which is good
Thank
because no one was using
That's weird.
empowering rift in
Yeah.
PvP. Because
Should have been patched a long time ago.
yeah,
I'm actually really scared of that one.
Oh, it's gonna be terrifying. It's
Yeah.
gonna be
Because,
great.
with the increase in time to kill, if we get D1 mid-impact hand cannons back, we might get those to 2-tap just being in a empowering rift, and maybe with the new Dawn Blade having a
only
heal on
only
command.
the 110s would be able to do that maybe because it's a 22% buff unless they're changing empowering rift.
Well, I reckon that the hand cannons are getting a damage bump come the 28th.
Yeah, they are, but
yeah,
like
yeah, we know how much that is already. Though.
yeah,
Oh, we do?
yeah. So you can see like the 140s do 100 or I'm sorry, they do 70 to the head instead of
Yeah.
61. So
So you have to 3-tap to the head with 140s, and you can 2-head, one body, 1-head, 2-body with the 110s.
So just based on some quick math, if it is still 22%, 70 with an extra 22%, I don't think it's going to 2-tap. I think only the 110s will be able to 2-tap.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, 78 and 78 would. Sorry. So that's 7 plus 14.
Be like 80 something.
So 84 plus 84. That's 168 now. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
able to 2-tap.
Yep. Unless something changes that we can't anticipate, but so Skull of Kara is going to get increased super energy from Nova Bomb, so they're kind of making it like a fusion between what it is now and the old Obsidian Mind, I guess.
Oh, it
Yeah.
already is that.
Yeah,
It's just that it's so bad that
that no one cares.
Yeah.
Killing higher ranked enemies will grant even more super energy, so I wonder if you'll be able to get it back right away. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, it would be interesting. It would be cool to be able to chain if like you used it correctly.
The transversive steps are going to give more mobility, and then after a short time, your currently equipped weapon will be automatically reloaded. That's cool.
Yeah, see, I thought this was a nerf at first when I read it. I was like, well, wait a minute. So like, if it, what's changing about it? Then I read the Wormhusk Crown again, and I was like, well, they would specifically tell me if something was changing. So nothing is actually being removed from
Right? No, yeah, it's
the
just
transversive
added on.
steps, but it's just being added on to it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's huge. I think that's awesome.
The Titan Rally Barricade no longer requires players to take cover to reload. Now feeds your ammo to your
Thank you.
magazine over time. So basically, that the Rally Barricade is now going to do what the Warlock Rift with Lunafaction boots does, right? Am I understanding that correctly?
that's what it looks like.
Okay.
It'll be similar, yeah.
It might be like War Rig, where it gives you an amount of your
Yeah.
air magazine per second.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's kind of what it seemed like to me.
Helm of Saint 14 is going to give an overshield for a short duration, so it basically gives you Blessing of Light if you wear Helm of Saint 14, right? That's basically it. Just like an
Yeah.
overshield every time you pass through it. That's cool.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that'll
Well,
be good.
because they said it's I mean, short duration be like 1 to 3 seconds or whatever. So instead of you just having to be inside of it to get the
But yeah,
the
you
thing,
just dip in and out.
Yeah.
Mask of the Quiet One, increasing energy gain from incoming damage. I don't even know what Mask of the Quiet One does. What energy gain?
It does that right now.
So
Priest
is
is
that
saying-
like your grenades and melee?
Yeah, your grenades, your class ability, and your melee, I believe, all recharge faster while you're taking damage.
That's weird.
Yeah, and then just in addition to that, when you're critically wounded, health will be regenerated from kills.
If that's guaranteed, I think that's an amazing buff.
Yeah, that's a really cool exotic now. You know, that could be huge.
Reese
I
is
think
saying
it's still really ugly. Everybody's gonna be running around with ugly exotic helmets.
yeah, the thing on your head. Reese
Yeah.
is saying that the barricade doesn't have the extra damage or range that the Warlock.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
But-
for the Warlock, you have to wear an exotic and put a rift down. So
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
But Void Wall Grades are getting an initial damage buff. Wombo Combo is
Yeah.
back. And
Yeah.
I have to go to sound check. I love the crap out of you.
All right.
Perfect.
Peace, baby.
Later,
Take it easy.
Huffy.
Alright, so we got next.
Yeah, grenades. So all these grenades are getting adjusted. I don't know if this is all of the grenades that are getting adjusted because we don't have full set of patch notes, but most of them are getting damage buffs. The Axiom Bolt is getting a damage buff, and it's increasing the amount of time it takes for tracking strength to lessen. So it's gonna more aggressively track people, which is this is all to adjust for time to kill changes, which is good. The flashbang is getting an increased damage, and it says incendiary grenade. I guess it's gonna burn people on top of it.
I know it's not gonna happen, but I miss the 170s into burnouts from D1.
Do you guys
They
find
still
this
have-
confusing? Did they just format this wrong?
Yeah, it's bad formatting.
Okay.
Yeah. So what they did was they said the flashbang is correctly done, and then the incendiary grenade is incorrectly done.
Okay. So
But it's right
basically,
underneath there. So the incendiary
flashbang,
and the flashbang.
incendiary, storm are all just getting damage buffs. Nothing else is changing.
Yes.
The scatter grenade, retuned range and fall off ranges for the detonations for more reliable damage. That's good because no one uses those at all. Magnetic fusion and flux.
Scatter grenade?
Yeah.
It's used all the time in PvE.
Oh, in PvE. Okay.
Yeah, it's the number one grenade that it's used, and where we're like, it's so overpowered, and the fact that they're buffing it is incredible, because you can, we're like the dogs with 24 stacks, you could take with one grenade. I think you could take it down like one of the dogs down a third just with
Wow.
one grenade.
Yeah, I mean, it just says it's not going to do more damage, just more reliable.
Yeah,
on
but they're basically saying, because what happens is when you throw the grenade, it splits off into a bunch of little things, and then
Yeah.
the little things does damage. So if you do it right, you'll take out that thing. But it's just you're doing that more consistently now, because they're not falling off, and the range isn't like spreading out as far. It's like the distance. It's like the difference between a Sins of the Past and a Curtain Call. You know, Curtain Call does more damage on
Yeah.
single target because the spread is smaller.
Right. But I think this is actually going to make the spread bigger, so that you have a better chance of hitting something reliably.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. Like, otherwise it's going to be even less useful in PvP. Because right now you have to be so specific with it that no one uses it.
So it might be a PvE nerf.
I don't know.
Well, it wouldn't matter in PvE, because even if, like, I know we're talking about the raid that we're doing now versus Last Wish. We have no idea what we're dealing with Last Wish yet, but where you throw it in the, you know, I guess it really doesn't matter in PvE then. It's just making it more reliable for PvP. I mean, I wish they would say that.
I guess we'll have to see. So magnetic fusion and flux, these are the 3 sticky grenades. Increased damage, but from what I understand, they said it's still not going to one hit.
They don't want any grenades to one shot in PvP.
Right, which is good because they're annoying. But at the same time, though, I think they should make a choice here. I think it would be better if they did one hit, but the tracking wasn't there. But
yeah, bring back the plasma nades from Halo. That's what everyone's been saying ever since the beginning of this game.
Because
the magnetic grenades can be the plasmas.
It feels bad to stick somebody and then it not kill them, because you're just like why even bother having this grenade? It doesn't have any utility.
And then, like, sinking those frags in D1 was one of my favorite feelings.
Yeah.
Like,
what
you throw
what
that
did they say?
Yep.
incendiary.
The
What did they say about the
awesome.
magnetic grenade? Not like, when did they say that it wouldn't kill them?
During the Crucible stream, they said that sticky grenades are not going to one hit.
Yeah, they're
going to 2 hit,
bucks.
because a second detonation will hit.
Yeah, I don't think the magnetic grenade is going to do that, even with the second explosion.
Well, why would you pick the magnetic grenade then?
For PvE, I guess.
Magnetic grenade has always been a little weird.
Yeah.
Like in D1, it had a very small initial explosion and a much bigger secondary explosion.
And if you moved, you could like nullify the second explosion.
Yeah, so it was always worse than fusions.
Yeah.
That's kind of the point of the next couple of points, though, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So damage is now the same whether a target has been stuck or simply walked over the grenade while detonating. And magnetic grenade now detonates a second time only if it's attached to a target. The second detonation no longer only occurs on the grenade itself and now be applied to each individual target hit by the initial detonation. So it kind of begs the question, why even have a secondary detonation?
So what this is telling me is that you get okay. So like say you got one dude and around him there are 3 other dudes.
Mm-hmm.
You stick the first dude, it explodes and it hits the 3 other dudes. All 4 of them are going to trigger the secondary explosion.
Right. That's a pretty big deal.
But the point that Rex is making is why have a second detonation if all of them are going to be affected by it?
Just
Because
like do
they
the
can
damage.
affect each other. They can affect each other on the secondary explosion, which could lead to a one-hit grenade if people are close enough.
Right.
Hmm.
Skip grenade is basically getting a damage buff. Each individual skip drone is getting a damage buff. And
We know a lot of this stuff, though. Like a lot of this stuff, like we already knew that they were getting a. We didn't know.
yeah,
the specific,
they just
how
didn't point it
specifically
out.
were.
Yeah. The void wall. This is interesting because the void wall is getting increased damage on the initial void wall wave. And this is what Huffy was talking about. Right now, if you wombo combo, Void Wall is the best choice because it does the most damage over time of any of the Void grenades. So this damage buff, I think, coupled especially with if you use the Envenom Smoke on the new Night Stalker class, is going to be pretty much an instant kill.
Spooky.
Yeah. So wombo combo is definitely back. It seems like anyway. And that's it for the class changes. You guys have anything else on that?
No.
Okay.
I really hope that the marksman dodge changes applies to the GuardianCaster. That'd be sweet.
It should, because it seems like it's built into the dodge itself. So
Yeah.
I think so. The only thing that might get weird is if you proc like kill clip on 2 different weapons at once. I don't know how the game will handle that, but
I don't think that perks on secondary weapons outside of like I was about to say Zalo. Outside of Risk Runner, Croc.
Oh, you might be right. There might not be kill clip on any non-kinetic weapons. So a couple miscellaneous things. The swords are going to be able to accept shaders. A lot of people were asking for that.
Yeah. Gigs actually said that like a couple of weeks ago before they.
Yeah. It was in the that last Game Informer interview. That's where he got that information. Somebody asked that question.
I think he was actually he might have been in the interview and he just had like the stuff that he could talk about before the magazine went live, because all that stuff was in the magazine, but it's like it came back to him that he had that information first. So
yeah.
It was weird.
Adding a timer to the status effect of Healing Rift, Empowering Rift, and Rally Barricade to communicate the time remaining. So that's a nice little tool tip just to help people out and know how long you have before it goes
It's huge.
away.
It's huge in PvE stacking, because like think of a situation right now. I mean, I can apply it to right now. You have 2 Titans in the Void Room for the skulls on Callus. And so you have one person put down their Rally Barricade. Well, you see, this Rally Barricade's got 8 seconds left, but I know I'm going to be in here for 15 to 20 seconds. So I'm going to put down another Rally Barricade, and we're going to keep going.
Yeah, you'll be able to optimize DPS a lot easier.
I think it's funny that Bubble still doesn't have this.
Yeah, true. So wanted escapees are going to roam the world. From the prison of elders will roam the open world next week.
They drop nothing.
They're not going to drop anything, but that's still cool that people are going to be able to find them and try and kill them and stuff. I hope it'd be really cool if they were like massively over leveled and like people
That
are
would
just
be dope.
they have to
they
come
just
out
destroy
there.
everybody?
They've got like a full zone of like 9 people and everybody's just like, yeah, let's get them, you know.
That would be
Yeah,
cool
like-
if they were 600 power level and like we're going there at like 400 and we still can't take them out.
Yeah.
Last time something like this happened was Taken King, and it was the patrols in the
Yeah,
Cosmodrome,
I remember that.
and those guys were Taken King level.
They did drop loot though, didn't they?
Well, they won't
It was
drop
just, like,
loot
blues
until
and stuff.
September 4th.
Yeah.
They will drop loot, but they won't drop loot until September 4th.
Right. They're increasing the difficulty of the lost sectors, and the example they give is EDZ lost sectors become 240. Ooh. But I hope that, like, obviously the EDZ is the lowest end since that's the starting zone, but
It should be,
that's I guess they can't make it over 385 though, because they don't want to lock out people who
They can on the new lost sector. Well,
Right.
the outlaw lost sectors they can because
Yeah.
those are brand new inside of.
Oh yeah, because the people didn't pay for that content. So, but the original lost sectors, I don't think will get adjusted past whatever expansion they came out in, whatever the light cap was. This is an exciting change. Zur is being taken off the map, and
I can't wait to make my YouTube video every Friday morning.
Are you actually gonna do that?
I don't know. I might.
There's gonna be like a million people doing that, dude.
I know a lot of people do it. Yeah, I was gonna say.
You'd be like, competing in a very crowded space, unless you're the first person to find them. Then by all means,
Always the first person to find them, but that won't be an issue. But it's like, I think the problem is that like at this point in the game, we know where every single one of his
Oh, they're gonna
smart
change
ones
it,
are
though.
gonna change. Are they?
I think they're gonna change it. Yeah. Otherwise,
You think
this
so?
otherwise this change doesn't mean anything. Because we'll just check
don't
those
know.
initial spots. I think he's
Well, 'cause-
probably gonna have like a couple places he can go on each planet. To be honest with you.
Maybe yeah.
It'd be awesome if he could just roam around, so he's never in the same spot.
Yeah, I mean, in Destiny 1, he had like 4 or 5 different places on the tower and one place on the reef. So I hope that he has like 2 or 3 on each planet. That'd be cool. 2 or 3 spots.
I'm saying he actually walks around each planet.
Oh my god! But then the YouTube
That
videos,
would be amazing.
the YouTube
Exactly.
videos
You
go
can
out the
find him.
window.
Oh wait, you can't. He's wandering around. You'll have to find him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Let's just talk about what he has. That's actually what I don't like about it. Like the next thing is that he's no longer tied to flashpoints, which is okay because
because then, well, that would
it
ruin
always
it.
told you where he was.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So that's good. You were saying you don't like something though? What?
The next bit.
He has a clear purpose. He
Diagrams.
cannot explain it. That's fine. There's some mystery there we're gonna learn about.
I guess lore tab, right? Of the stuff that you're buying from him.
Faded
But the
engrams
faded
will
engrams-
only grant pre-Forsaken exotics. Why don't you like that?
So right now, I was thinking about this. It actually is a good thing because
Hmm.
with
So what, you said you don't like it though.
so initially when I thought about it, I was like, I had a problem with it because I was like, well, shouldn't we be getting, because it's a catch-up mechanic. Zur is a giant catch-up mechanic.
Yeah, I hate it. I think it should be taken out of the game or reworked into something else.
Well, people need that because there's exotics that they haven't gotten, but with the pre-Forsaken
there should be exotics that you haven't gotten if you don't play.
Yeah, but I mean, like, for the amount of time, like there's a certain point to where if you don't have Orpheus rigs, like, you probably should, and at that point, Zur should sell that exotic. That's what I'm getting at. And so for him not to have pre-Forsaken exotics,
That's
I
not what
thought
they're
initially
saying
was
though. The faded engrams won't.
yeah, the one that you can get once a week. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. So the ones that he's selling, he's always selling, but
Right.
the faded engrams is one for you once a week.
And
So
he'll sell
initially, I
probably
thought-
all of them. Like he'll probably sell new ones and old ones.
Yeah, initially though, I thought like that was a bad thing, but then I realized where our drop chances for the uniqueness of the exotics that we are going to be getting
Mm-hmm.
will be, the duplicate issue will be completely solved with the exotics by then, right? That's in September.
Yeah.
So,
I thought that they already tried to put in a duplicate protection system, but it hasn't really been working. Are they doing it again for Forsaken?
well, no, I thought they added to the roadmap to September.
I thought they already tried to put it in.
They did, but they had to disable it because it was causing an issue. From what I
Oh,
remember.
okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, because that was my biggest thing, is that I don't think Zur would be necessary if Smart Loot was smarter.
All right, I have a completely different take on this. I think that first of all, faded engrams were way overkill.
Yeah.
I think that it's way too easy. It basically guarantees everyone all of the exotics in a very fixed amount of time. Like there is, if you just log in, you do nothing else. You don't play the game at all. You just have like a stack of legendary shards. You go to Xur every week. You'll get all the exotics just by doing that. I think
Yeah,
that's
maybe you
super
play it, like a
lame.
couple of weeks in the first beginning, and you have a couple thousand legendary shards.
Right.
That's what I ended up doing towards the end. I just played through the week to get some legendary shards, and I gave up doing flashpoints
Yep.
or milestones
Yeah, but
because
There's nothing
milestones-
exciting. Like so, like basically you remember in Destiny 1 their whole thing was like you're going to have a story for each of these exotics you have. This is not a
Ugh.
story. This is stupid. Like you just go there, you press a button and then you have a thing, you just throw it in your vault, you forget about it, whatever. I don't like it at all. I really don't like it.
yeah, but the thing is like it doesn't affect players who are playing like for a long time. It only affects players who haven't put that much time into the
It
game.
affects me.
And only-
I don't play my Warlock and Titan. I have all the exotics because I just log on there and get the
Yeah.
it-
Yeah, I mean, like it might be the reason why you don't play though might be because you don't have that stuff, and so
Well, then that comes
Why?
into a different issue of designing the.
Oh,
classes.
that's stupid. If if you don't play because you don't have something,
I don't. It could be that could be a reason. You know, when you say
I'm not a
when-
fan of the game spoon feeding people. I'm not.
Well, I'll just say that I see it in a lot of other role playing games. Catch up mechanics are very common. Like especially that one. Maybe the Faded Engrams went a little too far.
So even
Uh,
without the Faded Engram, Xur was still a catch-up mechanic. If you paid attention each
Yes,
week, you
yep.
could still get most of the stuff.
Mhm.
Maybe you couldn't be there every week because people have obligations. But I'm just a person who believes you don't necessarily just deserve everything in the game. Like if you don't have everything, I'm sorry. You're just gonna have to either put the time in or you just don't get that thing. That's just
Well, some people don't have their time respected by the game.
people don't
That-
what
That's where Xur's kind of a band-aid, and that's where I have an issue with them.
people. I'm sorry. What did you say? People don't have.
Sometimes people don't have their time respected for.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. There is
I put
bad
in-
grind mechanics like in the game for sure.
Because I like talking this back. This is so cliche, man. But I put in 1,500 hours in D1 year one.
hmm
Got Yellowhorn at the very end.
Same actually. I didn't get Galahorn until about a month before he sold it at the.
Dude, same here.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel your pain there, but I had all of the exotics collected by the end of year one, and I felt like that was a huge accomplishment because of
I
how it
felt-
worked.
I felt I would have felt more of an accomplishment if I could select what I'm going out to do, and
Yeah.
that content was
I
catered
agree.
to be difficult for me to do that. Like you
Less
don't have to have-
RNG, more of a clear path to things, is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
like I was thinking
Well,
maybe go
they
the
have-
catalyst route.
Outside of Xur's exotics though, they do have. I mean, we know this is another contextual thing that's out of context. Without this context, we don't. Would help put you into context would be that we have some. Definitely, we know that there are exotics that are tied to quests that
Mhm.
aren't drop based, which is, I mean, that's a good thing in general. But I do know probably for the first couple of weeks, he's probably going to sell some brand new exotics to people because he
Probably
wants
gonna
like
be
Bungie
one
wants
of
us
them
to wants the new players to look at Xur as well as the old players.
yeah. In previous expansions, he's done like 1 or 2 a week.
And it's always the first or second week, so Xur is going to be really important that first or second week. He's going to drop something really, really cool, really amazing, like the Prometheus lens.
hmm
Dude, that new linear fusion looks, or not linear fusion. Hey, my bad.
I honestly think that's gonna the Scorch Cannon, the Thousand Voices. I think
the
that's
trace
gonna.
rifle thing.
I think that's gonna be a raid exotic.
It looks like it, but we don't
That
know.
thing looks crazy.
So some other things that they mention in the 2.0 changes, they again went over the power weapons that are moving to kinetic. It's the same list, nothing's changed there. We now know that the sniper rifle is going to be locked to solar as well. I don't think they mentioned that before. They
They
mentioned the
never
shotgun.
did, yeah, but we knew about the shotgun.
And also, we knew Whisper the Worm Tractor Cannon and Acreus were staying in power. We also now have confirmation that Darcy is. I guess just because of raw DPS potential.
Yeah, because Darcy was a clear winner when it came to box breathing, because box breathing is so good. So they probably said, well, instead of changing the gear, we'll just keep that in power.
The interesting thing though is that there's box breathing might be getting a nerf based on a screenshot someone grabbed during that combat reveal stream.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. The one where you have to re-ADS to...
It says the first shot is going to be affected by it, but not the following shots. But they didn't say anything about it. They didn't confirm. It is a test build. We can only glean so much from that. And it was on a linear fusion rifle, so we don't know if it applies to linear fusion rifles specifically that way. It's tough to say.
Darcy also doesn't have box breathing, so it would be separate from that nerf.
True. And technically...
It's a different.
Whisper.
I mean,
Whisper of the Worm doesn't say.
It's a very similar perk, but it's not the same name. It's not treated the same.
Right.
Yeah.
Whisper of the Worm's catalyst doesn't say that either, right?
Well, but I remember the Ikelos sniper rifle when that came out. People were having comparisons between Darcy and Darcy was coming out ahead a little bit, and then the sniper rifle came out in certain situations. It was. But either way, you have a sniper rifle that's. I mean, the Ikelos sniper rifle is probably one of the best sniper rifles to be in energy, hands down.
Yeah.
Like Darcy's probably gonna go back to being stable for boss, because it's got the highest burst DPS within, I think, 13 seconds.
Yeah. It actually outclasses the Whisper, but the ammo thing is a factor.
So if fights go on for longer than that, Whisper is still gonna
be the better choice. Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe we get a new heavy in the Forsaken.
I hope so. I mean, we know of only 8 exotics, but we know that there's more coming. Well, obviously, we know there's more than 8 exotics in the game, going to be. So.
This is going to be the last weekend of trials. So if you if you need any achievements, there's no achievements on PC, but if it's something you want to check off your list, give it a shot. It's not very fun, the competitive game mode right now. I'm just being honest. It's just not. But if it's something you want to get done, now's the time. Don't forget about it.
Something to note is that the shaders are never coming back.
True. But if you don't need like a big stack of them. If you get it once, you'll have it in your collection forever.
Yeah, you have 3 of them. You'll be able to find them forever.
Yep.
I'm probably never getting those shaders.
Well, we don't know that. I mean, did they say that the shaders are never? What did they say?
Yeah,
that the shaders
they
are
specific. It was in. I think it was 2 TWABs ago. They were talking about the changes that were getting retired, like what your one items were getting retired, and in those they specifically pointed out the current trials shaders.
Yeah, because they're reworking trials completely from the ground up.
It's back to the drawing board.
Back to the drawing board.
Right next to the faction rallies.
For all the things that's back on the drawing board, I mean, they're doing an incredible job for what they are delivering on.
Also, it's your last week to complete any Solstice Armor objectives except for Masterworks. You will have as much time as you want to do the Masterwork objectives, but if you want any legendary sets, finish them this week. So if you've started any gear sets, you better get grinding, because it's going away. I'm not doing another set. I have my Hunter set. I'm happy with that. I'll be able to catch up my other 2 characters really quickly after leveling up my Hunter, so I don't need to deal with that.
See, I got all the legendaries really, really quickly, and now I'm just finishing out the last little bit. I think I've got like 3 strikes left on my Titan, and then I'm completely done.
It's not that I couldn't have done it. It's just like I realized how boring it was going to be to do that 3 times, and I was like,
it's a different boring though. if I could,
it's a tedium
a little better. Yeah. It's boring, but in a different way for each class.
Well, there's that whole thing too, where like So I found out early on that you could use that sword hilt for the melee kills, but apparently warlocks can't do that.
Yeah,
So
Wait, you can do
Warlocks.
that on Titan too?
yeah.
Hunters and Titans can do
Oh,
it, but not
I was using
warlocks.
Skull for 3 hours.
Oh my god.
Yeah, hunters and warlocks.
Wait, no, that was for grenades. Never mind. Okay, I feel less bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, the grenade kills, like that was actually kind of fun because, like, for me, for the warlock, there was a get arc melee kills, and so I popped on what was that exotic?
Crown of
That
Tempest?
was it Kern? I don't think it was Karnstein.
Claws of Ahamkara?
Yeah, I believe it was the claws.
Winter Scale?
Maybe it was Winterscale.
Well, I found a really good spot for the grenade kills on Hunter.
I dismantled it already.
If
You might want to go pick that up because that's another thing.
No,
Collections are going down.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. It was the so one of them was no, it was the helmet. It was the Crown of Tempest.
Yeah.
Okay,
Is what I wore.
that's cool.
So, like, how I would get the conduction tines is I would if you, and this is a pro tip for anybody who's still on that part, if you wear the Crown of Tempest, you load up an EP by yourself, an escalation protocol. You can off time them off of each other just so that you can get a grenade kill with for 3x, and you can get your grenade kill to start to move up for 3x, and then just before it hits 1 second you get a melee kill, which is on like one of the thralls, and by the time the 1 second frames up you'll have your grenade again, and as long as you get one kill with that, it'll refresh the stack 3 buff, and 6 seconds later you'll have a melee kill ready.
I have a
So
trick
you can
for
go-
I have a trick for Hunter too. If you load up the 1AU Solstice mission, and you get to the part where you're in the sun, be on Night Stalker with Orpheus rig. Like throw your Orpheus rigs on, and then you run to the piece of cover at the edge, and then have all of the mobs chase you there. Throw down a tether, and throw a grenade at them. What I didn't realize, Orpheus rig recharges your grenades. So you kill all of them with a single grenade. It recharges your grenade. You throw another grenade, and you just kill them and kill them and kill them until you either die or you run out of mobs right there, and then you jump off the map and just keep repeating that. Like, I got it done in seriously like 10 minutes.
I did that on Whisper.
Wow, the void grenade. I
Yeah.
did not do it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Whisper mission's also really good to do that. You go to the back of the room where you have both sides of the thrall room running at you. You tether the wall behind you, and then you just have all these thrall running at you. You toss a void wall grenade or a vortex grenade, and then you can get it
That's
done so fast.
As RogueShadow was saying, the collections are going down next week. So if you want to test out any exotics during the 1 week meta, make sure you have them taken out of your collections. I pulled every single exotic weapon just in case. I'm not obviously going to use them all, but just in case we find out anything interesting, I have them
Fingers
all
crossed
available.
for Jade Rabbit. I want that to be good so bad.
Yeah. And then I don't anticipate a lot of changes to the armor, but you might as well have that too. Start clearing out your vaults just now. You might as well.
Yeah. There's a couple of things you want to, like, for vaults and for postmasters, as much as you can clean out your vault, and then right before the 28th happens, put every single energy and kinetic and every single weapon you have, try to put that into your vault right now, because if your postmaster goes over 20, you'll lose those items forever. You don't want that to happen. So you want to save some space, and I mean, there's 18 weapons that could potentially change, or 19 weapons or something like that,
Mhm.
Well,
including the ones you're wearing.
We're talking about the ones you have to worry about are the weapons you have equipped on your character.
Yes.
Everything in the vault you're fine with.
Yep. So
What
it's
you're gonna want to do is open up enough space. Well, the safest solution is just move all your power weapons into your vault.
yeah,
They have equipped.
because it's only if it overflows your inventory. That's all you have to
Yeah.
worry about. But clean out your postmaster just to be safe. It can't hurt.
Also, for when the switch comes, make sure that you've got a power weapon that fits the new setup, because I don't know what's gonna happen if you have no other power weapons in your inventory and you have like a sniper rifle.
We have rocket launchers.
It'll probably just be an empty slot because that's happened before with
Yeah.
it's like a UI glitch.
With like Necrochasm, remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the safest bet though is just to put something that you know is going to stay in there, like a sword or a rocket.
You might be able to cheese the leveling system by eliminating your heavy slot.
Gosh.
Because that's happened before. Like when remember it was like when the artifact came out, it was like better to just like not get an artifact because then you didn't have to worry about getting like a higher level one because it didn't affect your level average if you just didn't do it.
Yep.
So that's kind of funny. So let's talk on that vein. Let's talk about Forsaken prep strategies, what you guys are doing to prepare for Forsaken to min-max and stuff like that.
Edge them factions, yo.
Well, right now we don't really know where the 28th is going to be the biggest kind of tell for how we have to go about. Like the director is changing. Right?
Well, we
It's
know a
changing
couple
to an-
things though. Like
Well, we know what's changing, but we don't know the value of each of those activities.
no, but we know a couple things that'll be useful. Being at 400 light will be useful. You know?
Absolutely, yeah. Power level being 400, yes, you want that.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, there's like a couple things. Just having Crucible tokens, Vanguard tokens, and weapon parts. We know those will be useful. So don't
Yes.
spend them. Don't spend them.
Yeah. Don't spend those.
Me and my buddy have been talking about this. The bounties that you get actually do give you XP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think somebody did the
bounty-
math. You can get like almost 50,000 XP from just saving up bounties.
That's one level.
Which is quite a. I mean, they're gonna start us out at 0 though, so they're not gonna they're gonna start us out at 0 XP probably. They're not gonna like we have it at like 99% XP waiting for the next level. I don't think that's gonna work.
Yeah, no, I think it's gonna go back to because right now it's what 80k for a Bright Engram level up, but for normal level ups I think it was 40k.
Yeah. Fire team medallions, you might as well stock up on those. I don't know if they're going to sell them. They'll probably still sell them, but that's a little bit of a buff. Get yourself... this is another reason to play Trials this weekend if you haven't. If you can get the Knight's Ghost at the end of going Flawless, it's a 10% XP boost across the board.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
there's another 10% XP. I'll tell you which one it is.
Across the board though, not just in the specific activity?
Yes.
Okay.
There is another.
Is it Eververse? Do you have to pay for it? Pay to win?
Honestly, I think it's Eververse.
I think it was. I was talking to someone else about this. I think it was it was season 1 Eververse.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the Knight's Ghost one though, you can get from going Flawless, guaranteed.
Go buy you some 3 coins.
Cosmo Shell.
The Cosmo Shell. Yeah, I think that was season
Cosmo
1.
Shell has all XP gains increased by 10. Yeah, so the Cosmo Shell does it too. It was Curse of Osiris.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
So if you still have the Cosmo Shell, that's good too.
Yeah, the XP boosters, the 3 coins.
So yeah, have your 3 coins. I've got 20 of those ready. This is where we're gonna be getting into stuff that might be overkill, but might end up paying off. If you have nothing better to do, you might as well. Don't turn in your exotic engrams. I mean, it's possible that they decrypt as new exotics. I don't think they'll affect light level, but
that didn't happen in previous ones in D2 though, right?
I think it happened in Curse, but it didn't happen in Warmind.
Because here's the thing with in D2, when you get any drop, it's pre-calculated.
Sometimes. I don't know. Like, I know that this has happened before, and this has been a thing, so I don't have any exotics to get, so I figured I might as well just hold them onto my exotics. Leviathan keys. This is an interesting one I didn't realize. If you take your Leviathan keys and you don't let them go into your inventory, so if you have a full consumables inventory, they'll go to your postmaster.
This is difficult to do.
Yeah.
I had 9 keys sitting in my postmaster like 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, and I accidentally
Deleted them.
no, I didn't delete them.
Accidentally picked them up.
I picked them up using dim because I do the like the collect postmaster. So it's like it's kind of tricky to get that. We also don't know that those will give.
Right, and you'll have to go into Leviathan. I don't know that it's going to be worth the time investment to like go into the Leviathan to collect
for
the
min
chests.
maxing. It's not going to be worth it. Although, we don't know if raids are going to give a powerful engram. Completing the raid that might be a thing that we just don't know.
Right.
With like your 1 raids.
Yeah.
Well, we'll know that on the 28th because if no, I'm sorry, we'll know that on the 4th because if on the 4th it says is a powerful engram, do the raid, we'll know to go in the raid. I'd still like to try it to see, just a normal one to see if we do get a power level increase. But if it doesn't, I mean, we can knock that out like super quick, or even an Eater of Worlds.
Here's another thing.
Stars even.
If you do all your milestones the week before and don't pick them up, let the powerful rewards go to the postmaster, there's a possibility they'll decrypt as powerful rewards.
Yeah,
They work that way now, so unless they patch the game to do something different.
Well, I do that right now anyway because I don't ever go to turn them in right now, but and I just see them kind of decrypting and I'm like, oh, I have something to dismantle.
Right. So they'll be in your postmaster, and it's possible you'll be able to get a significant light boost from that, which is pretty cool.
It does work, Reese says. He did it in Warmind.
Okay. Can you do that for multiple weeks or just the week before?
Just the week before because it's tied to the week that you did it. All the things will decrypt when it's time to decrypt. So just the week before, make sure. And he said it not only gave him powerful rewards, but it also XP.
Oh, wow. That's huge then. Now, would the appropriate way to min-max be like, so you log in on September 4th, should you go pick all those up right away, or should you wait till you get close to the soft cap?
They'll be auto-decrypted. They'll already be in your inventory.
No, usually, like I did this week, right? So I tested it out. They went to my postmaster. You go to your postmaster and you actually see powerful reward. It looks like a little engram. And when you pick it up, it decrypts it into whatever it's going to be. So it sits in your postmaster.
I mean, that's only if your other things are full. It'll go to the postmaster.
Oh, if your engrams are full?
Yeah, if the spot that it would go, that's only if your inventory is full. So if you had a full inventory of arm pieces, let's say,
that's definitely not the case because I had a full inventory. It was really weird. So it went into my postmaster. I had like 3 or 4 powerful rewards. And then I opened it and it came out arms and I had full arms and then the arms went back to the postmaster.
Yeah, that's how it should work. It only works if you have a full inventory.
But it gave me 2 different things. So I don't know, like I'm pretty sure that they all go to your postmaster until you click on them.
It's possible they could go to your postmaster, and we don't know. It's very possible that it could be 380, but it's not worth. It's an extra couple of like 5 minutes of work that you have to do.
Right.
To do it, and just don't decrypt. Next week's engrams do not decrypt.
Yeah. Yeah, so don't decrypt those. Break down your mods ahead of time so that you're not doing inventory management day one of Forsaken. I would just have your
because of the way the mod system works. Yeah, just dismantle every purple mod you have.
Yeah.
Also, you want to be edging gunsmith specifically because
why do you have to edge? Oh, I understand. Yeah, because they changed the amount.
Yeah, it's going from 40 to 100. So if you edge them right now, you're going to be able to save yourself, 60-ish.
Yeah.
For what?
Weapon materials. So gunsmith.
Oh yeah. I could go, put him on the.
For me, I don't even know that that's worth it. Saving 60 gunsmith parts, I have like 17,000 of them. So.
Well, if you think about it, so at 17,000, that's going to be.
So you're saving 60 weapon parts just once. I don't really think that matters.
It's not too pressing.
Yeah.
Yeah, gunsmith. We shouldn't be worried about not getting anything in the expansion. Like everything in the like as far as guns are concerned, we're gonna get anything from the gunsmith. The gunsmith is gonna give us everything.
Yeah. And basically, we're gonna have to do it this way, right, Exo? So we'll go out, we'll level up, and then we'll be coming back to the tower to like
Several
equalize
times.
out our whole
Yes.
loadout with
Yeah, but
materials.
we probably won't do that till after we finish the campaign because that doesn't make any sense to
Unless you hit a level where you get
Yeah.
locked out by level or something.
Well, there's gonna be certain quests probably that give us an exotic.
Yeah.
I'm guessing there are a couple of those. So what we need to do is we need to increase our power level, or, and this is alternatively what we did initially in Warmind. I know Reese and a couple of people remember doing this with me. We leveled up our characters to 30 before we started the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did the campaign. We just did some public events or whatever to get our level up to the full 20. But I don't think the 20 levels are. And we got to the soft cap first. But I don't think we can really do that. I don't think we can hit 20 levels without the campaign.
Yeah, probably not.
The only issue is the issue is we won't turn in the quest. So what we'll do is we'll find a quest that'll give us an exotic or give us a blue, and we just won't turn it in until we've gone back and leveled ourselves up again. So if we come across a wall like that, we're just gonna go get our level up to 50, and then we're gonna go get our soft cap up, and then we're gonna get the complete the quest because that'll give us a higher reward.
Okay. That's all I really have for prep. Do you guys have any other things that you're working on now?
If you're not too crazy about the upcoming changes for PvP specifically, I think taking a small break
Oh,
probably a good idea.
yeah, probably. But I'm not gonna do that.
If you've done all of these things,
Yeah.
you are good to take a break.
Yeah, because the Solstice grind was. Whew.
You know what I still need to do, Exo, is I gotta do another freaking prestige raid so I
Reese
can.
was telling me, and he said you don't want it to be 4 hours long, and I don't
Yeah.
want it to be 4 hours for you either.
Yeah.
So I told him we would get together a team that was capable.
Awesome.
You guys talking about
yeah.
Spire or?
Well, just
Either
Spire
one.
and-
Yeah.
Spire Eater Worlds, right?
Yeah, I need to do both of them too. Those are the last two I need for the 400 points.
Something like that.
I
but
just need like an inaugural address or something so I could have a 400 energy. Even if I end up
okay.
getting a sniper, if I get the sniper or the shotgun or something, it's moving to energy anyway. So it's a high likelihood.
I know. I have still, for as many times as I think I've done it like 8 or 10 times, the prestige ones. I still have not gotten a sniper or a rocket launcher.
Hmm.
I've gotten the mob justice I think 15 times.
Interesting. So yeah, that's it for prep. Rogue Shadow probably is right. If you're feeling burned out, you should take a break so you don't like get tired of the game before the new stuff comes out. I wanted to mention this. There's like a really nasty thing happening right now where people are cheating essentially to win trade and match their friends in glory to get the Redrix Claymore, or even go all the way to 5,500. Those people need to be banned.
What is this about?
Literally, like, I guess after they made the announcement that, Redrix and you're getting an emblem and all this stuff, and I guess people were doing it even all season, they have a way of, like, matching with their friends' IP, with IP manipulation and stuff like that, and they just match their friends over and over and over and over and over again, and they win trade. We win one, you win one. We win one, you win one. And then they end up going all the way through the whole competitive rank. So,
Right.
Well, not just that, but and they're not being banned. But I mean, if you ever take a stroll down the group finder in Find Fire Team Legacy, you'll find yourself a heaping group of people who are looking to trade carries for Trials of the Nine as well.
let's not point people in that direction.
No, I'm just saying that's what people are. That's where, I mean, it's everywhere, and
Yeah.
and it's pretty prevalent in the game, and that's kind of crappy that it's going on. It shouldn't be happening.
They did mention that if anybody's like doing that on Bungie.net to report the post, it'll be taken down. But that's not good enough. Ban people who are doing this kind of manipulation for sure. It's cheating.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, it's definitely cheating. It's just like Titan skating in PvP.
Well, Bungie does not care about that. I can tell you that much.
Actually, we don't know because they haven't said anything specifically about that. Just like they didn't say anything specifically about the Wardcliff Catalyst.
Yeah,
or
I'm
the
really
Wardcliff.
curious if they're going to be touching Titan skating at all come the 28th.
Well, it might not be on the 28th, but it might be on the 4th.
I think they're seriously afraid to because of the shoulder charge thing. When they nerf shoulder charge, and they're like, "Oh, this isn't how we intended it to be used."
I don't think it's the same thing. I think it's closer to the Wardcliff feature.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, exactly. CC's saying they don't care because it can technically be done without the macro, with the scroll wheel. So.
Yeah, but I still think they're gonna try to do something about it.
It still feels a little unintentional, and right now they're just kind of going
with it. It's definitely unintentional. I just think that they don't want to be like, oh, we're gonna ruin people's fun because this isn't how we intended it. Because that is what happened with the shoulder charge incident.
Yeah, but with that, it wasn't because people were having a competitive advantage with placement, like in PvP and stuff.
What I'd like to see is a fix where they refine this, they make it so it's not necessary to macro, and that there is a controlled way to do it, even on console. That's the best solution.
Yeah, and that's actually the bigger issue, right? That's the bigger issue is that it's you're not able to do it on console, which makes it even more of a target.
Yeah. All right. The next thing is there is a Rockstar promotion. We don't know 100% what it's going to do yet. We know it goes live on the 3rd, according to their website. It says coming soon, and the description is collect can codes to win prizes and earn in-game competition access. Competition access? Like, are we getting put in a tournament for drinking Rockstar?
Wasn't that Red Bull last time?
No, the way that it worked last time, the Rockstar Energy and Pop-Tarts are confirmed to have it as well. Every can will give you, I believe, 1 piece of rare loot.
Ooh.
And it's rare loot when it's picked up at the engram level that you're at.
Right.
So it is pretty effective. Especially early on when you're trying to level up to 600.
Gotcha.
And then the Pop-Tarts was a 10% bonus XP.
We haven't heard anything about a Pop-Tarts promo this time, though.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about it. I've just seen the Rockstar promo. That's it. And
I see the Rockstar cans here. I'm gonna buy some Zavalas and some Machinists probably. That's not pay to win. It's not pay to win confirmed. Because it's just like a little boost to the stuff, and like the Pop-Tarts was a 10% XP bonus, and I think like a Sparrow design or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably both happening because Kellogg's and Rockstar are both heavily involved in D2. So.
Well, we'll get back to it about the Pop-Tarts thing if we hear anything more, but the Rockstar is definitely confirmed at the moment. So a couple things I wanted to mention just off topic. SkillUp tweeted out a tweet that said he just saw the best Bungie cinematic, the best cinematic that Bungie has ever produced. Because he was at Gamescom. I guess they brought him behind the scenes and showed him something we haven't seen. He said not allowed to share details yet, but suffice to say they really raised the bar with this one. That is the most positive thing he's said about Destiny in like over a year. So I'm really excited to see whatever the heck that is that he's talking about. I hope that this campaign actually is a story that I'm interested in for a change in Destiny.
I
The
saw
best
that,
cinematic.
and I was chuckling to myself because I was thinking, doesn't Bungie outsource a lot of their cinematics?
I have no idea.
Isn't that
Yes.
why?
Yeah. Blur does the cinematics for them. Yes.
Okay.
Because I reckon that's why it's stuck at 30 FPS.
That would make sense. But he's been very critical of the game. If you don't follow Skill Up, he's a game reviewer on YouTube, and pretty much since Destiny 2's launched, he's been.
And now he's a paid Bungie shill. So
Yeah, yeah, right. But I think this is a very good sign for what we're about to experience. I'm
Well,
excited.
That was before we got the Cade cinematic, right? You don't you reckon it might be that one?
No.
no,
I don't
because
think he would
would've-
have that reaction to that cinematic, man.
He would no, because he posted it though. That was the thing. He posted. You know, what's funny is the first response to it is shill.
But I don't think that he would have that profound of a reaction to what we saw in the Cade's Last Stand.
Yeah.
Do you
It's
think
not-
so? I mean, I don't think
I
it
don't.
was. Yeah.
I don't. I think it. The story that they're trying to tell with Forsaken. Remember, they said that they're going to tell it through a more visceral way that's not tied to, like strikes or even lore. It's told in the game.
Mhm.
So when they tell the story in the game, like they probably showed him one of the story elements that's in the game, like one of the story cinematics or whatever. And he was like,
yeah,
whoa.
exactly.
I forgot to speak up about this, but I posted what I think is the continuation of that cutscene in the Discord.
Okay, I'll check that out in a bit then.
Okay.
Yeah. So a couple other things off topic. I just wanted to mention we have guests lined up for the next few weeks on GuardianCast. Next week we have It's Only Michael coming on, and then the first week after Forsaken launches, we have Maplewood coming on. So we have some awesome guests lined up coming up, and after that, I'm looking for more guests, and I've reached out
For
to a
week
few
2 of
people.
Forsaken.
Yep. So
That's gonna be.
And then the
Great.
following guest will have to be a PVE oriented guest because, well, actually, are we going to be taking a break for that week because
That's the day the raid comes out.
that's the day the raid comes out now?
yeah, we're probably gonna have to. Because
That is that is not happening.
Yeah, we're probably gonna have to. Speaking of that, I don't know if I mentioned it. I have to try and get that day off too. I mean, like it really sucks that I have to wait for this announcement, like a week
It's
or
like
two.
2 weeks in advance,
Yeah.
like two. Well, that you have more time with though.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks, but I don't
You're
know.
already
It's gonna
taking a
it's gonna be
week off, or-
it's gonna be tough to juggle. Like we'll see. I hope that I can pull something off. I want to do that raid day one, and if there is an emblem for getting it done in the first 24 hours, I want to be a part of that for sure. So we'll see. I wanted to just quickly mention for anybody who hasn't heard about this that Twitch Prime is changing, and it's not going to let you skip ads anymore, apparently.
Yeah.
This is kind of a controversial thing, but I think this is a bad direction to go for Twitch, personally.
Twitch is one of the few sites I have whitelisted for my ad blockers because I do have Prime.
Yeah.
I don't have to go back to that.
I completely uninstalled my ad blocker because Twitch didn't like how I was using. Like they didn't like I wasn't able to watch it. I'm still actually not able to watch ads, regardless of whether or not I have an ad blocker or not. Like ads for bits, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was thinking about like some of the ramifications of this. Basically, what they told us is that the Twitch Turbo that we have now at $8.99 per month will be the only way to get site-wide ads removed from.
No one's going to pay for that.
Well, previously with Amazon Prime, you had the Twitch Turbo access. What they're doing is they're removing that piece of Twitch Turbo because the other pieces of Twitch Turbo are still you're still getting the custom emo, the custom
the
color
VOD,
for your
VOD
chat
history and stuff like that.
Yeah, you're still getting all that stuff. You're just not getting the ad viewing portion of the thing, which by itself isn't worth paying $8.99 per month, especially if you already have Amazon Prime.
Right.
I could see this as potentially losing Amazon Prime memberships, specifically because of people having Amazon Prime only because they use it for Twitch Prime.
Yeah.
but we'll have to see. I do think that in the end, it's going to help affiliates because I think that
Affiliates don't get ad revenue.
yet. And they've said for the longest time that they've wanted to find a way to, and they even have it in the list of affiliate bonuses that affiliates don't get. In
I think
parentheses,
the
they
only
say
way to
yet.
make this palatable, in my opinion, is to put something good with it. Like, I'm not a fan of this change at all, but I think that if they could at least say, hey, we're doing this, but in exchange, we're guaranteeing transcode to everybody and we're raising the bitrate limit. Like, that would at least be something, but they're not
Well, that
doing
might,
anything, you know?
well, the thing is that might be an announcement for TwitchCon. You know what I mean?
I hope so.
Like all of this stuff is coming around. They're getting the bad news out of the way so they can have all of the good news for TwitchCon, which is coming up pretty soon, right?
Yeah. I don't remember. It's September, October, I think. I can't remember which.
October 26th.
Okay.
So, I mean, they're making a lot of changes for, I mean, we might even see a change in how they view partners. You know, to be a more sub-oriented or viewer, like less viewer-oriented kind of thing. I do think that this would be the year, if ever a year, this would be the year to start sharing ad revenue with affiliates, and that might be the reason why, because they want to distinguish between an affiliate and a partner, giving partner more ad revenue or a bigger share of the cut, as it were, and affiliates kind of get what the partners had before. This might be the reason why, this might be the catalyst to do that.
Baga asks, what's going to happen if people are mad about it? It's not like people vacate the platform. That's not the problem, Baga, I don't think. Here's my concern. Increasing dependence on ad revenue makes Twitch less independent, in my opinion. It makes them accountable to advertisers rather than to us. I think that going forward, like, you could see a lot of the problems that YouTube has coming to Twitch, because censorship issues and, like, advertisers are going to say, like, we need you to scan content to make sure our ads don't end up on streamers that they shouldn't, and things like that.
The whole like shirt debacle.
Yeah, I don't think it's good for the platform personally, but it's not going to be like overnight, like, oh, the ad thing because of Twitch Prime, we're out of here, we're going to Mixer. That's not going to happen, you know.
Yeah,
What
October 15th is the last date, but they did say that if you have an Amazon Prime membership, that it would extend until the end of your Amazon Prime membership until you renew. So if you have an Amazon Prime membership, try to get it renewed on October 14th, so that you can continue to enjoy
ad-free Twitch,
ad-free until the end of your. So if you have it renewable soon, then you're not really going. I think September 15th is the cutoff for that, right?
Yeah.
There is a cutoff, yeah. and then it'll stop on September 15th is the cutoff. So you must renew by September 15th to enjoy the benefits of the full year. If you do that, you have the full length of your membership, and then October 15th is when it's going to cut off for anyone who has not renewed or renews after September 15th.
So last thing, did you have something to say, Shadow?
I was trying to figure out what angle Twitch is coming at this with, because
they want more money. That's the angle.
Yeah, but that's the thing. They've introduced so many more systems for people to spend money on their platform.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious why they chose now, after introducing all those systems, to pull something like this.
How much is Twitch Turbo? $8.99 a month, Baga.
Yeah, it's $8.99 a month.
Because you still get your subscription with Twitch Prime, right?
You still get your subscription, but I tweeted out about it. I said that the Amazon Prime subscription is no longer equal to the Tier 1 subscription.
What?
Because of the ads.
Yeah.
If you have a Tier 1 subscription, Tier 1, Tier 2, or Tier 3,
it'll still be equal in terms of they'll still get the benefits of all the emotes and stuff.
The streamer still gets the benefit, and you still get the sub benefits. You just don't get the ad sub benefits. And what was interesting is if you look at the Twitch Turbo, if you ever looked at the Twitch Turbo benefits, let's see if I can pop this up and just read it because I have a computer. it says ad free, no pre-roll, no mid-rolls, no companion, no display ads. All you see is front page takeovers. You get that star by ad free, and it says in that star,
the
it says
asterisk.
something about the streamer being able to turn it off for subscribers. Now, I didn't even know I could do that, but apparently you can do that as a streamer or as a affiliate or partner on Twitch. You can turn off the ability to view ads for subscribers. That's backwards. It's so backwards to me.
No, Twitch Turbo will not give you another sub to use, Baga. It'll just give you
right.
It'll just give you the ad-free benefits and like some other things like a longer VOD history if you're a streamer and stuff. I don't want to get too bogged down in this because we're already at 2 hours, but I did just want to mention NVIDIA did their announcement for the new 20 series GPUs. Ray tracing. Whoa! Are you guys pre-ordering?
No.
Yeah, me either. I definitely want to see some benchmarks first from third parties before I make any decisions.
6 times the power is a. I mean, there's definitely some. It was super impressive stuff.
6 times the power at ray tracing is what they said.
Yeah, but I mean, there's some really impressive stuff that they showed off. Really impressive stuff.
The presentation seemed a little finicky.
Markety.
I don't know if it's $1,200 impressive stuff though.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll definitely see.
Especially if you have a 1080 Ti right now. Probably not. Probably not.
It depends how much of a performance bump it's going to be. Like they're saying it's 1.5 times more FPS. I'll believe it when I see it from the third-party benchmarks.
50% more frames?
1.5 times more. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, so that's 50%.
Yeah.
That's a funny way to sell a graphics card.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1.5 times, like, just say 50% more frames.
Yeah.
Well, even that, because, like, the amount of... What people are wanting to push right now... Because people already have their frames. What they want to push is what they can see in their frames.
Yeah.
Like what the guy was talking about with the reflective surfaces.
Well, no, I want more frames personally. I want more
according
frames.
According to the marketing material, it supports 4K Destiny 2 at 144 frames per second.
So the new monitor would actually have a use in that case. That'd be cool.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're somebody who spent $2,000 on that 4K 144 hertz monitor, you better buy that GPU then, because otherwise,
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know why you bought that.
Yeah, and hopefully you're playing Destiny 2. Because otherwise, I don't know.
Well, I'm sure if you're playing Fortnite, you'll be fine too, because that game's pretty basic. Or if you're playing Overwatch or something.
Basic.
But well, I just mean in terms of graphical load.
Basic, man.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Have you seen the paid loot? I mean, that loot is so good.
But anyway, we're at 2 hours now, guys. That's all I have for this week, unless you guys want to talk about anything else before we sign off.
Nope, I'm all good.
I think I'm good.
RogueShadow, thanks for being on this week. It was
absolutely, Rogue. Thanks.
An honor to
for
have
inviting
you.
me.
Yep, no problem. This has been episode 28 of GuardianCast, guys. I'm Wrecked. I'll see you next week. Peace.
Bye.
Ciao.